Hello Normans, and welcome back to this week's Norman News at Home Edition. I'm Alana Morgan. Stay tuned for news on a massive winter storm in the United States and more on this past week, which was Beverly Hills Kindness Week, and ways in which you can still showcase random acts of kindness around the school in 30 minutes. This is the Norman News. A massive winter storm has slammed the United States. This has led to many power outages, fatalities, car crashes, and even outbursts of carbon monoxide. While we don't have to worry about crazy weather like this in our state, it is important to keep updated on what is going on around us. Texas has had terrible power with more than 250,000 people without power. This has led to Texas officials having to request more than 60 generators from the Federal Emergency Agency Management. We hope things start to get better for these states, and we will keep you updated on any further news that we get. Now we're going to send it to Jonah with some more news.
Thanks, Alana. Over the course of the past century, antibiotics have changed the way we live. They kill bacterial infections and essentially save the lives of those who are suffering. In fact, it is believed that ever since Alexander Fleming created the first antibiotic in the 1920s, antibiotics have saved hundreds of millions of lives. Unfortunately, in the past few years, antibiotics have not been as impactful since bacteria have become resistant after many years of natural selection. Luckily, scientists have been manufacturing new forms of antibiotics with new codes that bacteria do not recognize. This could temporarily stop the problem of bacterial resistance and save the lives of many individuals with varying conditions. Now to Jackson with this week's sports review.
Thanks, Jonah. Anthony Davis had to exit the game against the Nuggets early last Sunday. The Lakers ended up losing 105-122. Davis had previously missed 2 games due to tendonitis in his right Achilles. Last Sunday, he aggravated the injury. Reports say that he will miss 2 to 3 weeks. This is very bad for the Lakers. Although they're playing generally well, Davis was a big contribution to the team. Also in the news, the Cavaliers are no longer playing Andre Drummond. The Cavs are looking to trade Drummond, but there are no serious talks about it yet. For now, Drummond will not be playing at all. Thank you, and now to some more sports.
Thanks, Jackson. Last week, the Lakers went into overtime for 3 straight games. First, the Lakers played against the Detroit Pistons and won in overtime. Next, they played against OKC, and after a close game, won in overtime as well. After that, the Lakers played OKC again and were down by 20 points at some point. They came back, brought the game to overtime, and won by 1 point. These 3 games in their winning streak has made them the number 2 seed in the West, right behind the Jazz. Let's see what the Lakers can do in the rest of the season, and now to Rachel with entertainment.
Thanks, Nathan. Makeup guru James Charles is under heat after posting a video titled 24 Hours Being Pregnant. James has had an interesting week on social media, starting with an Instagram story where he seemed to be entirely bald, then a photo of himself as a pregnant woman. He is now facing backlash from his audience, some of whom felt that the video was insensitive to pregnancy. Charles's Instagram post showed him in a Halsey-inspired pregnancy shoot, where he is surrounded by flowers caressing a prosthetic baby bump. This was seen as insensitive because Halsey had recently opened up about her struggle with miscarriage and endometriosis. However, Charles's fans soon came to defend him, as Charles stated at the beginning of his video that the proceeds would be donated to 2 organizations to help women who have also had difficulty getting pregnant. He also started the video off with a disclaimer saying, "This video is not being made in any way, shape, or form to make fun of or make light of pregnancies and the sensitivities and complications that come around it. It's obviously such a beautiful, beautiful thing that women go through with their bodies, and it takes a whole lot of strength as well."
This week we're going to be talking about the new movie, Tulsa. This drama/comedy movie is about an alcoholic man who finds out he has a daughter. He believes that he isn't in a position to raise a child, but he doesn't have a choice. His daughter has no other family and will have to go to an adoption center if he doesn't take custody of her. Throughout the film, his daughter helps him clean up his life while he helps her build more confidence. Watch the movie on Hulu to watch their relationship blossom. That's all for this week. Now grab some popcorn, sit back, relax, and stay tuned for this week's new movie trailer.
Quiet.
It's time for church.
There are no churches in this town.
You're lying. Now get up. I made breakfast.
I'm gonna drop you off at the orphanage. I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Okay. I'll stay. You don't have a place for me to stay, but it's okay now. I found my father.
I am in no position to be a father.
She has no other family.
Into the world, to the wild, no place for a child. Use my voice to hide.
I'm all unpacked.
Great.
You know you shouldn't smoke or drink. It'll kill you.
So will children.
All your alcohol and cigarettes. I threw them out.
What the?
That language! I've been in 5 different schools since Mom died. The girls can be kind of mean.
Gotta treat school like prison. Go up to the biggest, baddest girl and punch her in the face.
So, you won't let go?
I won't let go, I promise.
It took me a while.
You know, I've been exactly where you are right now.
Where's that?
Lost. Well, saved by love, Tommy, doesn't always come in the form of a lighthouse or lightning in the sky.
Why aren't you so scared to go to church?
I just know it doesn't work.
Maybe God's at work right now, and you just don't see it.
So full of love.
Tulsa!
She's a very sick little girl. She did sustain several injuries, not the least of which is the one to her head. Now, if this should continue, she's going to slip into a coma.
If you could do anything in the world right now, what would it be?
Go to the daddy-daughter dance with you.
I wish we could.
Holding on to the hope that
Mr. Colston. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to visit. Mr. Colston.
Ready for this?
We Colstons, we go big, we go home.
I'm sailing home to you.
You fought for me. You fought for us.
I won't be
I think this is what heaven feels like.
by the light of moon. I will press on.
Let's be honest. I'm no good. I'm no good for you.
You're perfect for me. I love you, Tommy Colston.
Until I find my love.
Jaguar has recently announced that the luxury automaker plans to become all-electric by 2025 at the latest. The company plans to publicly release 6 fully electric models that will facilitate this change. Jaguar has budgeted $3.5 billion a year into making these fully electric models. The brand has previously been quite slow in the transition to electric vehicles. The company's only fully electric car as of now is the Jaguar I-Pace SUV. This model has notably struggled in markets against other, more established electric car brands. This big change for the company is partially a result of the $48.7 million fine that the European branch of the company had to pay for missing their overall greenhouse gas emission requirements. The company plans for all Jaguars to give off 0 emissions by 2030. This is the same year that the United Kingdom plans on banning the sale of newly developed combustion engine vehicles. Similar bans will take place in various years all around the world, with Norway vehicles going completely green by 2025, California by 2035, and France by 2040.
Although it is not the safest to do right now, you can travel in many places throughout the world. However, travel restrictions will vary based on where you are from and where you are coming from. Airports throughout the world have different safety measurements and precautions set in place to keep you and the people around you as safe as possible. When you are at an airport, you will most likely be required to have a face mask on at all times. According to CNN, people who violate the federal transportation face mask requirements will be charged a $250 fine. This fine will increase every time someone violates these requirements more than once.
The fine can rise as high as $1,500 for repeated violations. Now to Alana with local news.
Thanks, Natalie. This past week was Beverly Hills Kindness Week. Being Miss Teen California, United States, my platform is all about kindness. I even created a kindness wall at our high school. The 14th was the Decorating Window Kindness Challenge. The 15th was to create a kind video. The 16th was to decorate a kind rock. The 17th was a reconnection challenge. The 18th was a kindness chalk walk challenge. And lastly, the 19th was to Be Kind Environment Challenge. Now, if you missed out on all of these events, do not worry, because we will keep you updated on any other special weeks that go on in our city. You can still spread kindness in so many different ways, so make sure you're not only using the past week that we had, but also the weeks that we have to come to spread kindness and love to one another. Now I'm going to send it to Jonah with some school.
Thanks, Alana. Juniors, if you took the PSAT in January, your results will soon be available. On March 8th, the College Board will be releasing the scores that juniors received for the PSAT. As a reminder, the PSAT is at 1,520 points, rather than the usual 1,600 for the official SAT, and there are around 8 fewer questions on the PSAT compared to the SAT. Additionally, although your PSATs will not directly affect which college you get into, if your score is in the top percentile of the PSAT, you will have the chance to become a National Merit Scholar and win a scholarship. Now to Natasha with this week's weather forecast.
Thanks, Jonah. Welcome to this week's live weather forecast for the week of February 19th, 2021. This week in Los Angeles, it'll be warm with clear skies all week, with the average temperature being 75 degrees. This afternoon, we will see a high of 72 and a low of 50. Saturday, temperatures drop to 68 degrees. Moving into Sunday, we'll be expecting a high of 77 and a low of 52. Monday, temperatures increase to a high of 81 degrees and reach a low of 55. Tuesday, we'll see a high of 80 degrees. Finally, on Wednesday, temperatures will be in the high 70s. Thank you for watching this week's weather update. I'm Natasha Jadidolahi, and have a great week. Now to Grace with Health News.
Thanks, Natasha. I, like many other students, constantly struggle with finding something easy to eat in the morning before it's time to hop on to Zoom. I'm not a huge breakfast person, so it's been hard finding something that I like to eat when I wake up on school days. Something I've introduced into my diet and learned to love are bowls. Whether it's an acai bowl, yogurt bowl, or smoothie bowl, bowls are so easy and convenient to customize to your liking. They are so easy to make and are also so full-packed of nutrients and vitamins to kickstart a busy day of school. Just grab your favorite base, your favorite fruits, and a drizzle of your favorite sweet condiment such as honey. And just like that, you've made a healthy and delicious breakfast. Be creative and fun with it. You can never go wrong with fruit. Now let's send it back to the desk.
That's it for this week's Norman News. I'm Jonah Donish, and we'll see you all next week.